Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Trekyards bar. I am your bartender, Captain Foley.
Where's your hat? Your head looks sufficiently not hatted. I'm confused by it.
Yeah, sorry. If I had a hat, I would be in focus. There, I'm in focus now.
Yes. Stuart! Picard! Happened. We saw it.
We're happy to have seen it because it was a drastic improvement over season one. And yeah, as a part of that, we're going to hear it today to talk about Guinan. So get yourself a drink, belly up to the bar, and listen to us talk about the return of Guinan.
So, of course, Guinan being the El-Aurian, which means presumably from the Delta Quadrant race, because the Borg attacked and destroyed their home planet a long, long time ago. She was part of a refugee set, and in fact found Enterprise B, which is pretty cool, and then went and did some history stuff. But she had been to Earth already in the past. So, it's all over the place. They're travellers. They move around. It's all good. If it takes 70 years to get between the quadrants, it's like, okay, I've got time. So yeah, and then she found her home on Enterprise D for several years, although it became less and less frequent as her movie career was doing more and more things. They couldn't schedule it. She did appear in Generations, though, in both real and dead form, Nexus form, and Nemesis briefly as well, so she was around. That's the last time we saw her. Of course, played by Whoopi Goldberg, the multi-award-winning actress who was asked to be on the show, and that's the big thing, because at the time she was too famous for the show, despite the show being popular, but because she asked to be on it and they found a role, they built 10 forward for her, then become an iconic set. And so Patrick actually asked Whoopi on The View live, which we didn't know if it was a publicity stunt or because she didn't know, you could tell in her reaction. We didn't know if it was a genuine ask, as in he hadn't even asked producers yet, like, I want her to be on the show, I'm a producer, or if it was a go ask her on live TV to make a story. We don't know. She said yes. We had no idea how much she'd be in it. We still don't know. Who's to say? But she got a decent 2 or 3 or 4 minutes in this episode. So what do you think of the return of Whoopi Goldberg's Guinan?
I loved it. It was a nice return of a good character that we really appreciated. I love the way that she is, like you said, a listener, somebody that can offer some really sage advice. So it was great to see that. And we're going to see her again because we do see the same alleyway of him beaming in the past, at least, I think. Or the alternate universe. But I was glad to see her. I love that she sensed Picard come in and asked for, I'm going to need some Earl Grey tea, piping hot.
I think she saw him in the window, personally, because there was glass.
Oh, could be.
The
could
mirror.
Be.
But
well, it
either
like
one.
She sensed him a little bit to me, but hey, what do you guys think? But yeah, it was great to see her back, and everybody was freaking out about how she, would look older and whatever, and that was all taken care of. The dialogue was really well written in this episode for multiple things, so that was handled, and I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. No, she was definitely good. Didn't give off the same vibes as early Guinan, because she's not the same woman. She's not the same. Obviously, not the same writers. The writers that wrote Guinan originally, as in the ones that are writing her now, weren't born when she was in TNG originally, potentially. So the vibe is, she didn't feel like Guinan to me, the sage Guinan, but she felt more like I've been on Earth, I've actually settled for a bit, I'm in like a long chill state, rather than I'm going to go out and be exploring and be intriguing. She felt more like just a person rather than El-Aurian. But also, the connection with Picard is strong here, so it's very much laying her guard down. I was disappointed that it was implied they haven't seen each other in a decade or two, because Nemesis is a good 15 years ago at this point. It would have been really nice if they'd said, I haven't seen you since Intaka 6 with the Enterprise Air, like something else, because to think he's never come to see her, despite being in France, one transporter away for 10 years, is really upsetting. I know he was upset himself, but you would think he might have made the effort. I know he was in isolation pretty much, but that's just season 1 writers making a bad story. That said, it was nice, gentle. If that's her only part in the season, it was decent. It was good. It wasn't as cameo-y as I thought it was going to be, which was good. Very much focused on, your whole life has been about your mother and, this secret backstory we've never seen before. Hopefully it pays off to be a good thing. Find love and how they wouldn't tell her was fun. And certainly the booze jokes were all excellently handled, I thought. There were many and they were all good.
I'm looking forward to maybe seeing her again, like I said. But if we don't, I think it was satisfying enough to see her in just this one scene. But I think she's going to play a part with like the whole times change thing. I think
Yes,
talked
Enterprise.
about that.
She sensed it. It would make sense for him to contact her and say, or her to contact him and say, it happened again.
Yeah.
Because she does say in a dialogue, we jumped universes together. I don't remember that necessarily in this show. I think she means just Enterprise, but without him.
I think she means actually as Enterprise. Like she told him about that after the fact. Because he kind of had that look on his face, like, well, kind of, yeah.
Cost on point. Go for a classic. Zero to complain about. Looked the part. Whoopi did have white hair for a long while and felt a lot older. I don't know how old she is, but felt 70s, 80s. I'm sure it's at least late 60s, if not 70s. But black hair. Looked. I know there's obviously makeup and maybe some digital de-aging a little bit. I don't watch The View very much. It's not a UK show, and it's not topics of interest particularly to me. So I think they probably did a little bit of work, because even though she said I've allowed myself to age a little bit, she's still ageless. So I think she felt a little bit too smooth in a good way though. It felt more appropriate, like less how I'd expect her to look as Whoopi Goldberg. So I think makeup and maybe a little bit of wrinkle removal, I thought did a really good job to kind of balance to a older but actually old looking, and compared to Picard who looked like a 80-year-old man, she did not feel like a. You know what I mean? So I thought that was a nice balance of like older but not actually a nice difference in age. Kind of like with Laris at the start, where she's an older Romulan, but they age differently, so they feel on the same par, but human versus alien.
I mean, you say Picard looks older, and he does for sure, but at least he feels younger than he did in season 1. So that's the important thing.
And his voice, I thought he tried more to make it less croaky. I think he was trying to project more, and it helped a lot. Not all the scenes, but when he was in his zone, I thought that's a whole separate conversation, but I thought he did a good job with that. Better than season 1. He wasn't using the crutch of age in his acting. He was using it as part of his performance, not. Yeah.
Not sure how much of a role she's going to play in this season, but just having her back was a nice little touch for sure. And a very important person in Picard's life. So I'm glad they brought her back.
I mean, if they were smart, which they
might be.
You've written 2 seasons. This is the start of the journey, and Picard makes many references to, the end of the journey, the start of the journey, the going back to the beginning. All these little things of this is the last of his journeys in Trek, etc. So to have Guinan appear multiple times in multiple forms would make thematic sense. Now we've reintroduced the character after 15, 20 years, etc. So yeah, certainly alternate universe her with the same gun and brain will help. That would be nice. Maybe even her in the past on Earth. That might be a thing. I'm totally open to that. And certainly in season 3, it would make sense to bring her back in some form. You've already developed this entire bar set, which I know it's now a touring set as like a thing for fans to go see. That's great. But that's quite an elaborate thing to build for not a lot of screen time. I know you can do it, obviously, for film. But that feels like we'll see it again because effort was put in, extra effort. But that might just be the season 2 vibe over the season 1 vibe, Like you think of the Vajazel bar, and it's like, it felt like nothing. This felt better for less screen time. I know it's Guinan's bar, but, the quality felt so much higher. So it feels like they'll have to come back to justify the quality, or just they love the stuff to do it.
But we want to hear your thoughts, guys. Comment down below what you thought about the return of Guinan. Like I said, definitely an important character in Picard's life, so definitely I'm glad they brought her back. He's, hopefully they're going to wrap up a lot of his important relationships, like Crusher, bring back Crusher. Yeah. Comment down below what you thought about the return, and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to click the notification bell icon so you don't miss any of our regular content and our lives where we do full breakdowns and discussions like this. We love your input, and we love having conversations with you guys because you guys really generate a lot of buzz, talk, discussions, and thinking. So join us.
You make our brains go left. Oh, good point. Right. Oh my God. Change everything. That's what you do.
You make us go. You are smart.
Way to bring us all the way down, or high if you think Low Deck's villain pack that through. Yes, support us via Super Chats if you can. Patreon, PayPal, join the YouTube channel, or buying swag down below with shirts, etc. All help. Thank you in advance, and we will happily see you next time for another Picard review concept theory discussion. Stuart, lots to talk about. Until then, he's Captain Foley.
I am, and he is Commander Cocking.
I am. See you next time.
Don't forget to pay your tab on the way out. You've drank a lot during this.
But put the hat on will keep you sober though, because the hat's a magic, as we know. So it wasn't the gun I held; it was the hat that kept her from Q. It was the power of the hat.
Oh, see, you're getting.
Every time drunk. The hat.
You're getting drunk because I'm fuzzy. Anyway, bye guys.
Bye guys.
Have a good one.